Boom! I think might be a minute late. But then again, this is Sml, so you never know. Guys, it's 11:15 in the morning. I do realize many of you are working, and that's fine, okay? I'm not one of these people that waits. Let's wait until 20 hours to make sure as many people can jump on as possible. You don't have to do any of that. The people that miss the live can simply catch it on the rewind, on the rebound. There are people that may not watch the broadcast live, but some people will watch it later on this evening, if they care to, that is. So you don't always have to wait for 20 hours at night or 21 hours just so that you can have a bigger live audience. I mean, if you can do that, you're fine to do that. I'm just saying that we don't have to be boxed into that little sort of corner and wait for that. So guys, do me a favor, if you can, just go ahead and say in the broadcast, I am loud and clear. If you give me that go ahead, that's all I need to hear. That's all I need to hear. Please do that. And incidentally, also, if you could take the time to share this broadcast with as many people as you think would be interested in this conversation. Let's talk about a couple of things that I think are pertinent. You know the word pertinent? Okay? Things that are relevant, things that are worthy of note. Those are things that are pertinent. Pertinent. The Americans say pertinent. Pertinent, as we say in Zambia. All right, somebody says, go ahead. Who's that? Red Housewives of Zambia. We have Housewives of Zambia now. Somebody says, go ahead, loud and clear, loud, Chanda, thank you. Bo Allen. So good to see you, girl. Joseph Chishimba should be on here. Esther, thank you. Thank you, guys. All of you. Walubita, thank you. All of you. Let's get into it. Let me, first of all, begin by making reference to, incidentally, before I even say that, before I get into my dissertation, I just found out, you're not going to believe this, I just read a few moments ago, and you better be sitting down for this, because this is one of these factoids. You know what a factoid is? A little piece of information that you were not aware was there. That's called a factoid. This is one of those factoids you read and you think you're kidding me. The hell you say? Are you serious? I read this an hour before I came live. I read Jennifer Lopez is 56 years old. 56. Jennifer, the girl from the block, and I are the same exact age. Can you believe this? Can life be any more unfair? How in the world does a person the same age as me shake the whole world, but here I am stuck at Simoson with Junta Wood? Now I'm bus drivers, now I'm marketeers, now huh? Do you see the contrast? Do you see the difference between J-Lo's life at 56 and my life at 56? Life isn't fair. I'm just going to go ahead and put it out there. Okay. I thought I'd share that with you because it makes me feel better. It's a bit cathartic for me, it is, to sort of put that out there, and so that you know that that's what I'm struggling with. Tell me what you're struggling with, okay? Tell me what's aching you. Tell me what's ailing you. Tell me those deep, dark things that are within the recesses of your cerebellum that just want to burst out and get over it, boy. Okay, forget it. Guys, first of all, let me talk about KBF. KBF, many of you know, KBF is a lawyer come politician. He's one of these lawyers that just woke up one day and said, you know what? I can argue a case in court, therefore I think I can run a country. That's KBF. KBF is the letters, the initials KBF stand for Kelvin Wadiafube Alakuchinsadi. One of my aunts, his name is Fube, my mother's sister, Wafube. KBF came into prominence a few years ago, and interestingly enough, there was a lady that was accused of murder not too long ago, and KBF offered himself as a lawyer. He wanted to represent her. And she had a huge big house out somewhere on a big property. And the very first thing KBF asked her was, so if you want me to represent you, you're going to have to sell that property. You know what the girl said? She said, look, as far as I'm concerned, this was accidental murder. I murdered him. I didn't mean to, it just happened. All I need you for is to see if you can get me a better deal. I know I'm not going to be found innocent. So why would I sell my house to pay you when I know I'm going to go to prison? KBF said, no, if you want me to represent you, you're going to have to sell that farm of yours and then pay me as a down payment, and then I can represent you. The lady said, well, there's the curb right there. There's the door. I'm not selling my property because I know I'm going to prison. You know, the judge is probably going to give me life or something. You know, I know that. So I'm not going to sell my property to make you rich when I know what the outcome is going to be. So this is the type of lawyer KBF is. I mean, there are many lawyers like that, but he's one of them. So he woke up one morning and he decided he was going to run for president. How he plans to achieve that is an utter mystery. It is. Because you remember, not too long ago, he sort of went into an alliance with the UPND. The formation, the amalgamation of his grouping mixed with the UPND was a very loud event. Remember, it was announced that KBF was going to be part of the alliance with the UPND. And then all of a sudden, it just went quiet. And the next thing we knew, he started disparaging the UPND. He started talking bad about them after he left that alliance. Now, the reason he left the alliance is actually quite scandalous, but we're not going to get into that. What I want to concentrate on today is KBF's insolence. Say the word with me in the broadcast. Say it with me in the comments below. KBF's insolence. You know, the difference between KBF and a bus driver at Roma Shungu, Banda Masauko, is that KBF has a degree in law, those guys don't. Because they have the same intonation, they have the same type of insolence rhetoric. Do you know what insolence is? Insolence is disregard for authority, disrespect for people that are higher than you, disrespect for authority, rebellion against authority, a blatant disregard for system and for protocol. That is someone that is insolent. Insolence is what KBF is about. Now, when you watch his podcast or broadcast, he's now gone into this stratosphere of talking about the head of state, you know, always be wary of political leaders that do that. Be wary of a political leader that is insolent. I believe, and this is me, I believe that it's possible to disagree without being vehemently or profanely disagreeable. I believe that. I mean, that's just me. I believe it's possible to engage in opposition politics without being insolent. I believe that. Awe sugar. Awe KBF. Ngati ashe dia camera dia ngale saskira baka teka kwati ale saskira omwaiki. Kwati ale saskira omwipoa. Abakashana bamunganda lete mpoto kunewe. Njurechita. Attitude ya KBF. He doesn't have any sense of parameter. He doesn't have any sense of, oh, this person I'm speaking about is the head of state. So let's have some type of decorum. Let's have some type of etiquette. KBF wouldn't know etiquette if it hit him in the face. He wouldn't. You know why? Because he is insolent. Disrespect for authority, disregard for protocol. Insolent. He is wrapped. He has become the personification, nay, the embodiment of insolence. Now, if that is the route you're going to take, some people say route, others say route. If that is the path, if that is the trajectory that you're going to be on, if your political persona is based on insolence, my brothers and sisters, you're not going to last very long in this game. You're going to trip yourself up. You're going to do something, say something that's going to be out of turn, and it's going to land you in trouble. Guys, just because KBF is a lawyer, it doesn't mean he's beyond reproach. Boom! God just dropped that in my spirit. Go ahead, say it in the comments. Just because KBF is a lawyer, it doesn't mean he's beyond reproach. Understand that. Because after all, he's just a human being. He bleeds just like you and I. He wakes up in the morning, he puts one leg after the other when wearing a pair of slacks. Or as we say in Zambia, a trousers. It's trousers, it's not trousers, okay? One trousers, two trousers. It's not one trouse and two trousers. He does the same thing that you and I do. So far be it from him to give off this vibe, Kuti is untouchable. No. The more he talks on that podcast of his, in the way he talks, that insolence he has there, that disregard, disrespect for authority, it will land you in problems. And in the end, it will be your Waterloo. Heed my advice. Heed my suffering heart. All right. Secondly, Chilufya. Oh, what a mess. What a mess. Let me explain why I have zero sympathy for Chilufya. And stick with me here. Stay with me. Because I know in Zambia, you know, when I say that, you Chilufya supporters, you start flooding. Hey, he's your brother. Hey, now hey, just send him some money. Hey, just take and I'm referring to Tayali's followers, not you. Just Tayali's followers. This is the problem I have with Tayali. Tayali sends mixed messages. He doesn't have any tact whatsoever. And if he would take a moment, just a moment, to listen to reason, he may get ahead. But this is the predicament. This is the conundrum Tayali's in. This is the juxtaposition that he has found himself in. Number one, lately he's been posting that he's been unwell. You know, that he has appendicitis, according to him. Now, we haven't seen any doctor diagnose him with appendicitis. We don't even know what appendicitis is. I wouldn't recognize appendicitis if it hit me in the face. But there is Tayali going live saying, I think there's so much pus. My stomach is bloated. They're saying it's appendix. And then he says later on it's appendicitis. First of all, he mispronounces it. Okay? He misdiagnoses. It's appendix. And then he clarifies and says, no, it's appendicitis. Well, Tayali, which is it? Is it appendix or appendicitis. Be straight, be real, because we're having a very difficult time trying to keep up with your nonsense. So here it is. Finally, he's in some room that he says it's the hospital. Now, I'm not saying that he's not at the hospital. He very well could be at the hospital. But I wouldn't put it past Tayali to create this whole thing as a smokescreen. He's done it before, and he can do it again. And you know what they say? If it's not making dollars, then it's not making sense. So here it is. Tayali, on one hand, he comes to you, and he says, initially he says, I need lots of money for this procedure. And it looks to me like this procedure it's absolutely imperative that I have this procedure. It's absolutely imperative that I'm diagnosed. But the amount of money needed is so huge, it's colossal. And he gives a quotation. A short time after that, he comes on his live and says, thank you to the government. Thank you to certain private citizens that have helped him with paying the bills. And then he comes back and says, you know, I'm on death's door. I am. I'm on death's door, and this might be the end. This might be the end for me, and it looks to me like the prognosis is not very positive, and this just might be my last hurrah. This might be my final curtain call, he says. And then in the very next video, and this is why I find Tayali reprehensible. In the very next video, Ambo Kushana, he's dancing. Aletfeyo, sha sabailelo, sha mipelelelo, antu nindwa, ekeni nshane ko vest panon. Let me dance a bit. Nshane ko, so that So how are we supposed to be empathetic when you are doing things like that? Ngoluse lwalafu makui. Lelo uleti na lafwa. Mailo waima wambo kushana. So which is it? Tayali, pick a side. Tell us, are you on death's door or are you going to the nightclub? Which one is it? Ushawa lafwa, or are you going to be doing John Travolta, Kuma nightclubs, Yaku, Malaysia? Be clear so that your audience is not misled, so that your audience does not misunderstand the message you're trying to send to your followers. Lelo uleti na lafwa. Awe china na lafwa. Wamba na mba na ukulile filamba. Fiambo kufuma. Aleti fio na lafwa ine. Ero ene nefo fio kubwa na kunganda. Kunoshile kufwaya. Na afwa mbala. Fine muntu anyumu. Katuisha fala chitali mbika nchishi katuishika nchishi cho. And then the next video, chambo kushana. Chet feyo na lafu afe kulokwine. Ero na la sabaida, nka sabaida mailo. Leo shikweti amaka. Nkesa. Do you now see why it is very difficult for us to take you seriously? Lelo alandefi. Lelo lelila. Mailolation. Be serious with life. We got to penya. You have just given up. Chive. Fiala chitika ni fiofi. Kabili, you are misleading us. Stay true to what it is. The word of God says, let your yes be yes and your no be no. Don't be ambiguous. Anyway, if it were under, if in there under pano, there are some of you tell for the mouth, yeah, chitambala. What if you told mutima? Umuno be alafwa. You will let fio lerande fio. Ima kabia kumaleja. Umutensho munobe alafwa. Tawakwa to mutima. Ichi mutima chobe mwewa chari fititi. Tawakwa te chikuku. Mulebako serious. Mwilankali fio mutima. Don't annoy me. Okay. Lastly, who we're talking about? Oh, Lily Lunatic Mutambo. That's Mutambo. Mutambo. Lily Lunatic Mutambo. You know, she was on her live not too long ago, and she said she's officially resigned from the UPND. Now, she said that in a way that sort of gave off the vibe that without Lily Lunatic Mutambo's endorsement, the UPND are doomed. That's basically what she was saying. And always be weary of influences that toot their own horn. Be weary of influences that stand on the highest mountaintop, because at some point during her life she said, it is a big hit, it's a big loss for UPND to lose an influencer like me. Talking about herself. Lily Lunatic Mutambo. You know what that's called? It's called being delusional. It's called self-aggrandizement. It's called taking permanent leave of your faculties and your senses. Lily Lunatic Mutambo, have you lost your cotton picking, Jerry curl, peach cobbler mind? The UPND are going to be fine without you, trust me. And newsflash, after Lily Lunatic Mutambo resigned from the UPND, the Earth, as far as I know, is still rotating on its axis. Now, I could be wrong on that, but for all intent and purposes, it appears to me the Earth is fine. After Lily Lunatic Mutambo announced that she had left the UPND, traffic on Cairo Road is still the same that it was before she resigned. Lastly, when Lily Lunatic Mutambo resigned from the UPND, the sun came up this morning. What am I trying to say? Life goes on. The only reason Lily Mutambo talks bad about the UPND is because that she was rejected when she made that stab. When she came and she was donating eggs to several people, the UPND leadership recognized her for who she was. A sniveling, backbiting, bitter-filled woman. That's all it is. That is Lily Lunatic Mutambo in a nutshell. Now, when the leadership recognized that characteristical attribute in her, they realized that, this girl is not the, this is not the one. Uyu ni skerem, uyu ni problem. Abani bakuti bayisalelo, bale chensa, mala bafumye mfuti, bakulasa aba. Abate chakweshaba. When the UPND leadership spread that news, and Lily Lunatic Mutambo was rejected, outrightly rejected by the UPND leadership, she grew fangs. She grew fangs. She turned into a vampire. Long, steely nails, icy fingers started emerging. Fangs started growing. Hair on the back of her head. Amen. So I saw Kashika Che! Now, always be careful with people that threaten you when they don't get what they want. Those are narcissists. Always be careful with people that act nice to you. They appear benevolent. They appear giving. They appear as if they are caring. The moment they don't get what they want, they turn into a vampire, they turn into a werewolf. Honey, they turn into the devil. And they start up and down, left, right, center, start disparaging you from 6 to 6. Those are narcissists. Be weary of them. They are the devil incarnate. Lily Lunatic Mutambo walks around with a clubbed foot. She's a slewfoot, boy. She's got them goat's feet. The only thing that's missing on her are those 2 big horns. And once they start coming out, boy, ni olo olo. Buana ni olo olo. Okay. All right. Well, that's pretty much what I wanted to share with you guys. Thank you for watching. Bye. Numa da